All right, I had to figure out how to turn it off. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. All right, if you could let me know in the chat if I'm coming through clear, if you're able to hear me, that would be awesome. Good morning, Arctic Gamer Thunder. Good morning, Dooney Addict. Good morning, Jay, Jontel. Can y'all let me know if you can hear me? All right, Arctic Gamer. See you later. Try to tune into the replay. I'll have a replay available. All right, awesome. Okay, so you might hear a little bit of background noise, so try to ignore that. I want to give it a few more minutes, though. I know some more people are going to be joining. So let's see here. I'm going to pull up some folks. And I know that there's a lag with YouTube and this software that I'm using. So yeah, so if you'll say good morning and let everybody know where you're tuning in from, that would be awesome. All right, I'm going to run through a roll call here. Yeah, Arctic Gamer Thunder just left. He stuck his head in for a hot second. All right. Okay, cool. So we have Arctic Thunder Gamer. We have Dooney Addict. Let me see here. We have Jay. And we have, I saw one more person. Pamela. Hey girl, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. So glad you could tune in. I think this is going to be a really good share. All right, Pamela's tuning in from Texas. Let's see here. Dooney, I'm using StreamYard. All right, Dooney is tuning in from Nashville, Tennessee. And Dooney, I don't know if you're aware, but I don't live in Alaska anymore. I moved down to Oklahoma. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it's actually 10 o'clock here and I love it. Yeah. All right. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay, so I know that there's an elephant in the room, and we will get to that. Okay, we'll talk about that. But I definitely want to get to the topic at hand. And I did not change the title of this live stream, but it's actually entitled, and you would have seen it in the thumbnail, Why Don't Older People Work Out? And so let me see. Yeah, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody because I love it when y'all chime in the chat. And it's an open chat today. I don't have any restrictions in place. So feel free, be nice. As long as you're nice, you can hang out with the rest of us. If you're going to be mean, then I'm going to have to kick you out. All right. So what I want to do, let's see, do I want to get into it right now or do I want to give it like a couple more minutes to join? I want to be considerate of the folks who are here on time. Right. And I even gave it a little bit so that people could, tune in. All right. So good morning, everybody. My name is Terry. If you don't know me, formerly known as Happy Girl Alaska. The channel name has changed and it is now Life After 50 with Terry. And I wanted to change the name of the channel because it was a little confusing for people. They were continuing to come to my channel looking for content on Alaska. And I'm not taking that Alaskan content down. I'm going to leave that there because I find it helpful for other people. So don't worry about that. I'm going to keep those videos out there, at least at this time, right? I don't plan on taking it down. But what I want to do is I want to focus on the stage that I am at in my life. I'm 49. I'll be 50 in December. And so I've just really been embracing this later phase of life. And so what I want to do is share information. I would say that the channel is for any and everyone. A lot of the topics, though, are going to be geared towards people that are 50 and older. But I think that, and one of the comments that I saw summed it up really well. You have people that are in their 30s and 40s. They want to tune in to know what they can anticipate, because I know for the longest time, I thought 50 was old. Not anymore, y'all. I feel young at heart. If I had to put a number on it, I'd probably say that I feel like I'm 35. But yeah, I'm feeling great. And the thing is, you see so many images of different people on social media now that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, living their lives and being happy and achieving goals later in life. So I just want to contribute to that. All right. So let me make sure I haven't missed anybody. Oh, okay. So Dooney, are you a Sagittarius or are you a so I think it's Scorpio. That's kind of on the cusp of Sagittarius. And then I think Capricorn is next. So I'm curious. And I know some people don't get into the signs and all that stuff, but all right, y'all. So I think we're going to go ahead and get into the topic at hand. And that is, why don't older adults work out? So we know that exercise benefits us physically, psychologically. It's a mood booster, and even more so as we age, right? As we get older. It helps to increase our longevity, ease of movement, and you're better able to get quality sleep. At least for me, I know that when I'm active, I sleep better and I sleep longer. So my quality is improved big time. So my question is, why does our frequency of working out seem to taper off the older that we get? And I want to talk to you all about that. I want to hear from the community. And like I said, this is open to anyone, right? But I really want to hear from you all, because maybe you're in your 30s and your 40s and you found that your level of activity has decreased. So I want to give you a little bit of background on me. I really didn't start working out until I was probably in my early 20s. I was not an athlete in school. I tried out for things, but it just really wasn't for me. I didn't want to put in the effort. But one of my little sisters, she started working out and I saw the changes in her body. And she mostly did some of my mom's old VHS cardio. I think it was Jane Fonda. And so I saw her body transform, because she was not heavy, but she was more on the thicker side. but I've always been slender, right? I was always slender, didn't gain any weight. And so I saw her body change and she looked amazing. And so I left Alaska after I got married and moved down to Killeen, Texas. And when I got to Killeen, it seemed like everybody was in shape. I mean, tight, rock hard abs. And I remember seeing Janet Jackson's video, That's the Way Love Goes. And if y'all recall, Janet was in top physical condition. She looked amazing. And so I was inspired. I went out and I bought buns of steel, abs of steel. And I did those, it was VHS at that time. I did those tapes religiously every single day. I may have missed a day here and there, but y'all, I was getting after it. And then I was going to the gym in the afternoon. So I would work out in the morning doing, what would I do in the morning? There was another VHS out called the Knockout Workout. So I did that video in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I went to the gym. And then in the evening, I did buns and abs of steel. So I was doing a lot. And I would say over the course of 3 months, the changes in my body were just phenomenal. I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. And I certainly wouldn't do that now. I was in my early 20s at that time. But I saw the transformation that could happen when you put in the work. And so I left Killeen, Texas, moved back to Anchorage, and I started working out. I met a guy, we started dating, and he was really into fitness. He would compete. And so he was kind of pushing me in that direction to compete. And so he would take me through his workouts. And I mean, I remember finishing some workouts with him where I felt numb. But I mean, again, just staying consistent and diligent. And I developed a love for the gym. Now, one thing I will say, though, is even back then in my early 20s, I didn't have any friends that were into working out, right? Nobody that I knew. I would have friends that say, hey, let's be accountability partners. We would go a few times, then they fall off. Same thing with some coworkers because they saw my physique and they were like, hey, will you work with me? Will you train me? I said, sure, we can help keep each other motivated. They wouldn't show up, right? And so I broke up with the guy. And what ended up happening is because I didn't have somebody motivating me and because I had these on and off again workout buddies, I started tapering off. I did. I started tapering off. And I want to say I fell off probably when I was in my mid-20s. And I wasn't gaining a lot of weight, but I was putting on weight. I was losing some muscle tone and all of that stuff. I was working a full-time job, working a part-time job, going to college. I have no idea how I did all of that. And then not to include the excessive partying that I was doing and stuff. And so, the whole fitness thing started falling by the wayside. And then I met my daughter's father. We got married. I gave birth to her. And I'm telling y'all, it seemed like in the span of 5 to 10 years, I felt like I lost myself in some other areas, but definitely when it came to being diligent about my workout, about my fitness, about my diet. And so it wasn't until after I got divorced when I was 40, I decided to try this program called Ideal Protein. And basically you eliminate all carbs. They give you supplements. They give you like all these different foods that are made by their program. And sure enough, the weight fell off. I felt great because I was in my 40s. I was planning to get back out there in the dating market and everything. I looked and I felt great. Only thing is I really wasn't working out. And other things were getting in the way. I'm going to go through some reasons why that I found that older people don't work out. But the things that got in the way for me were I was working full time. I was a part-time mom because I shared custody with my daughter's father. And then what else was I getting up to? Just trying to figure out life, right? I had been married for 10 years. And then all of a sudden I'm back out here. And it's like, okay, so what do I do as a single woman with a child working full time and stuff. So I would say my reason for falling off, as far as my fitness was concerned, is because other things in life just took priority. And I noticed that I started putting the weight back on, right? So that's the thing about those programs. You can lose the weight really fast, but if you don't develop some type of lifestyle change, that weight is going to come back. And that's exactly what happened. So I gained, first it was 5 pounds, then it was 10 pounds, 15 pounds. So now I'm 15 pounds heavier than I would like to be. And so this year I said, this is going to be the year that I really get back on it and I really get focused about my workouts. And so I started going to the gym and I looked around and I noticed there wasn't hardly anyone in my age group in the gym working out. And I'm just like, that's really interesting to me, and it shouldn't be, right? Because if I look at my life and how things happen, series of events, what have you, I didn't see people in my age group working out. So I kind of got curious about that. And I wanted to see what are some of the factors or maybe some of the barriers that are keeping older adults from working out. So that's what I want to get into. I just wanted to share my story with you all before we get into the share. I'm going to take a look at the comments real quick. But yeah, that's what I want to talk about. And I would love to hear from you all. I'm going to, check out the chat, share. We'll try to be engaging and everything, but I would really love to hear from you all to see what your thoughts are on this topic. So let's see, Jay. Well, here, let me make sure. Okay. So Dooney Edit team said, yes, I've never met a Sagittarius I didn't like, ever. Okay, so Dooney Addict, you said life, stress, not making it a priority, fear of injury. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that. No school sports here either. Right. And that's the thing. So I have a friend of mine who was an athlete all through, I think he might have started in elementary school, but he was a basketball player and he played in college as well. And his body is phenomenal. I mean, I think he's 54 maybe, but he looks amazing still. And that's because he had that upbringing, that foundation of being an athlete. Let's see, definitely need to make time for it. Yes, and that's the thing, putting a premium on it and putting it on our calendars to make sure we get after it. Jay, you said, for me, as we talked about before, sometimes you get lazy. Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes you can get tired from work and just don't want to work out. It happens. Yeah, sometimes at the end of a workday, you don't have anything left, right? But here's the thing, the best thing you can do for yourself is push yourself and just fit in some type of activity, right? Buns of Steel, that's definitely VHS. You know what? Yes, it works. And actually, I have the DVDs, and I think they might have videos on YouTube now. So, all right, y'all. So let's get into it. So a few of the reasons or a few of the things that play into a decreased amount of physical activity as we age is lack of motivation. I think Dooney said that, right? Lack of motivation, lack of interest. And then for some people, they might have friends that are playing sports, that are active. Maybe they're a part of a hiking club. I know there are biking clubs, all types of things out there, right? I remember there was like a soccer for seniors in Alaska at one time. But if you don't have friends that are working out, I can see how that can be a little bit of a challenge. We're going to get into that a little bit more. So lack of social support. I think it's always nice when you have at least one or two friends that are interested in the same things that you're interested in, right? That makes it even more fun and you can hold each other accountable. But if you don't have that social support, then, you're just out there by yourself trying to motivate yourself. Limited movement. So there are some people as they age, myself included, you might develop arthritis. So I have arthritis in my lower back. And I have to say, sometimes I really do have to encourage myself to go to the gym. Not as much anymore. Living in Alaska, when it got cold, it seems like it kind of flared up a little bit. But being here where it's warmer, I haven't had that much of an issue. But folks that have arthritis, if you have previous injuries, that can also make it to where you won't be interested in working out, right? Because you're worried that you're going to hurt yourself. And some other perceived barriers are mobility. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough time, and maybe the cost, right? If you want to go to a gym, maybe you don't have anything that's affordable to you. But I always say you can turn on YouTube and there are so many videos out there, right? And that's free. And then also the fear of failure. So I know sometimes, well, in the past, I've said, okay, I'm going to start on Monday. I start on Monday, but then I stop later in the week. I stopped being consistent. And I kind of was over myself because I was like, every time I start, I stop. And I was telling myself, I was like, I can't be consistent. I'm not disciplined. And that is the last thing you want to do. You want to encourage yourself, right? And then also, you don't want to fall. You don't want to risk spraining anything. If you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're doing some of the workouts at the gym, using free weights, using the machines, if you don't know how to use them properly, if you're not using the proper form, then yes, you can definitely put yourself at risk for injury, for pulling something, and then you're out of commission, right? And then there are people who just think exercise is boring. They think it's boring. I mean, if it's not something that they've done in the past, it's kind of like, why start now, right? And then if there have been some negative life experiences, so say the loss of a spouse or someone close to you, you know, there could be some depression there. There could be some anxiety, different mental things that you're dealing with that make it to where you just don't feel motivated. Sometimes you don't feel like getting out of bed, right? Depending on how low your lows are. And if you're self-conscious about going to the gym, because I have some friends that are self-conscious about going to the gym. They're like, I will never put on workout clothes and go to the gym and work out because they are worried that people are going to be looking at them, making fun of them. And the thing is, when people go to the gym, they are not looking or worried about you. That's just the fact of the matter. But if you're feeling self-conscious, I can see where you're coming from. And I would say, if you can find somebody that is into working out, most often people who work out are more than happy to help educate you on what you need to do for free. I'm one of those people, right? And if you have a poor body image, it's easy to get down on yourself and how you look physically and then say, I'm not going to go to the gym because I don't like how I look. But isn't that counterproductive, right? If you don't like how you look, then do something about it. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then if you have some type of chronic illness, if you have a disability, that could also be a barrier. Joint pain, again, you know, if you have some type of injury, that could be a barrier as well. But the thing is that everything that I just named, exercise can be a remedy for that. Being or becoming active can be a remedy for that. All right, so I want to look at the comments here and see how we're doing, see what folks are saying. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. So Jay, you said, for me in winter, my bones crack, obviously due to the colder weather. Absolutely. And I was telling my boss, I feel like my quality of life improved just by moving down here and being in a warmer climate. I don't deal with the aches and pains as much anymore as I did when I lived in Alaska during the wintertime. And then Jay, you said, that's a fact. When I go to the gym, people are more focused on themselves and not looking at others. people are trying to get in and out of the gym in most cases. Now, you might see some people that are like playing on their phone, and that kind of aggravates me, especially if I'm waiting for a machine. But they ain't thinking about you. They are not thinking about you. They're probably flexing in the mirror, looking at themselves, right? Trying to see their gains. But yeah, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. So I'll try and keep an eye on the chat so I can answer questions or read your comments. So confidence and limited knowledge and experience. So aging can bring on a loss of confidence in our abilities, right? When we're younger, maybe we feel like we know everything. We're not as apprehensive about trying something new. Whereas as we get older, we kind of get set in our ways, right? And so if physical activity, especially fitness, is not something that you've been into before, you could lack confidence. That makes sense. Loss of confidence in our physical appearance, I just talked about that. And then leading a sedentary lifestyle can be difficult to change. If you're used to being a couch potato is comfortable. I get it. But you're going to have to move away from that if you want to start working on improving your health and your fitness. So I want to talk a little bit more about the fear of injury. So whether it's real or imagined, that's what it is to you. And depending on your body type, if you're unfit and if you have limited knowledge, then I can see how you can be fearful, because a lot of times we fear things that we don't know. And what I would say to get past that fear, and this used to help me, right? Because back in the day when when I first put on the weight, I didn't have a fear of working out, but I just kind of felt like I didn't remember how to do certain exercises. So what I did is I turned on YouTube and I would search for whatever exercises it was that I wanted to do. And I would just let the video play. Wasn't getting dressed to go to the gym, wasn't planning on going to the gym, but having that video on and seeing somebody else do the exercise kind of helped, boost my motivation, boost my confidence a little bit, because I said, okay, if I'm watching them enough, I'll know how to mimic what they're doing and I can do those exercises. But sedentary lifestyle only worsens your condition. Loss of developing a skill. You can't develop a skill if you never get off the couch, right? And a fear of going to the gym. You don't have to go to the gym. That's the great thing. I always say this, YouTube University is unmatched. There is some type of workout plan for any and everybody at every fitness level. You can find it on YouTube. There are even walking videos. People are walking outside. You could put that on and maybe go outside and go for a walk, and you don't feel like you're walking by yourself. I mean, there's just way too many resources out there nowadays. And then if you can get somebody, so when I signed up at Planet Fitness, and I know in Alaska, the Alaska Club, basically any workout facility you go to, they have someone that can put you through a fitness consult. And I think if you pay a little more, they can give you a fitness assessment. But most often you can schedule time with one of the folks that works there to teach you how to use the different machines and stuff. I know they used to do that back in the day. It's been a while since I've asked someone for help like that, but I'm pretty sure that's something they still do. All right, let me check out the chat real quick to see if we have any comments or questions. So Jay, you said YouTube is a great teacher. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's unmatched. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's see here. So dislike or laziness when it comes to exercise. So again, some people think exercising is boring. I know for some people, when I say, okay, well, just get on a treadmill and walk for 5 to 10 minutes, they're like, well, that's boring. And I'm like, okay, well, walk outside. I think walking is the easiest form of exercise. I mean, unless you have some type of injury that's preventing you from doing that. But go outside and walk. You have scenery, find a nice bike path or something like that. But yeah, some people just think exercising is boring, lack of energy. And I would say I've been there, right? You just don't have the energy to get up and do anything. Um, and then also lack of determination. You don't have the willpower, you don't have the enthusiasm or the motivation to get up and do something physical. But the thing is that fitness begins up here, right? And what I say sometimes is I don't even allow myself to negotiate, because ideally I like to work out first thing in the morning. I don't allow myself to negotiate. When my alarm goes off, and I put my alarm in my living room, it's not in my bedroom. So I have to get up, I turn it off, I turn on some lights, and I hop in the shower real quick and I start getting dressed to go to the gym. I don't allow room for negotiation. I don't. Because the thing is, you can talk yourself out of the thing. I think it's harder to talk yourself into a thing than it is to talk yourself out of a thing. So don't allow yourself to negotiate if you're going to make fitness a priority. So let's talk a little bit about depression and anxiety. Again, as we get later in life, we start experiencing loss a lot more. So passing of loved ones and people that are close to us. But then we could have parents that are aging. So maybe we're looking after them. And I can see how that could be your priority, right? You're looking after someone who's close to you that needs your help. So it's easy for activity to be put on the back burner. And then change in relationship dynamics. Let's say you're now an empty nester, and that's something that you're having a difficult time dealing with, and that can bring on depression. If you're getting divorced later in life, if you have some type of job change that was not favorable, retirement for some people can be difficult to process, because they feel like their identity was wrapped into their job and now they feel like they're useless, right? And so I would say when we're late 40s onward, right, there's a lot of life changes that have happened over the span of those years, and that can bring on depression and anxiety. So I get that. And then again, lack of support. So family and friends don't work out. I've been there. I'm there now. I don't have any workout partners. It's just me, right? And that's kind of been that way my entire life. And then convenience of partnering with others and shared interest. So I feel like the best way to find your tribe, especially when it comes to fitness, is by continuing to go to the gym, and especially if you get into group fitness, right? You're definitely going to be around like-minded people. All right, let's take to the chats. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Ravina, hello, welcome. You missed the beginning of the live. You don't like that? Good morning, beautiful Miss Terry. Thank you, and good morning, Ravina. So glad you're here. And I will have the replay available, so not to worry. Let's see. Jay, you said that's facts. Yeah. I hope that what I'm sharing is resonating with someone out there. Let's see. I just don't like being tired, hot, and sweaty, but it's essential for life. It really is. It really is. It's essential for our lifestyle, our quality of life, I should say. And also it contributes to longevity. You know, don't you want to be around for a while and your best self? You know, but I get what you're saying, you know, being tired. Here's the thing though. I'm one of those crazy people. I love it after a workout, if I'm sore and if I'm sweaty. But I find that the more I exercise, I'm less tired and I'm more energized after the workout. I live for that. I love that. All right. So let's see here. And I know another thing too, Dooney, is that for us Black women, we don't want to mess up our hair. We don't want to mess up our hair, right? So that's another thing that can maybe hold some people back from working out. All right. Let's see. Pamela, it is really good to incorporate exercise into your daily activities. For instance, I get exercise walking my dog. That is a great way to incorporate exercise. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm thinking about getting a fur baby. I'm thinking about getting a dog. I would get a cat because they're lower maintenance, but my daughter is just like, no, don't do it. She hates cats. So, yeah. Thank you for that, Ravina. Let's see. Jay, you got to put that good wig on. LOL. Just kidding. There you go. There you go. Or buy more than one of the same thing. Have a workout wig, have an everyday wig, and then special occasion wig. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right. So let's see what else we're going to talk about. Okay. So there are people who are 50 plus that love to work out. You know, we see them on social media all the time. And I would say that I do from time to time cross paths with people who are in my age group that are working out. Some of them are in tip-top physical condition. Some of them, they look good. You know, I don't think you have to aim to be chiseled up or sculpted or anything like that. If that's what you want to do, by all means, do that. But I can tell the folks that are in the gym that are working out because they just seem like they're so much more energetic. And I don't know, their whole disposition, right? It's different. It's positive. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about those people who are really into working out that are 50 plus. Okay. So what motivates them is they put a premium on improving their quality of life. Going back to a saying that a guy I used to work with said is that he has a lot more years behind him than he does in front of him. And actually, he was someone who was previously obese, and then he lost the weight and he looked good. He looked amazing. And the thing is, he hired a personal trainer and all that stuff, and they helped get him together. So he looked really good. And then they focus on wanting to improve their appearance. I mean, who doesn't want to look good? And that's an added bonus, I think, to doing more exercise or incorporating exercise. And then sometimes they get motivated at a doctor's recommendation. If your doctor is telling you you have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you're overweight, you know, whatever those contributing factors are because of lack of exercise, that could be a motivator as well. And then also the positive outcome. So it's not just your physical appearance that is going to improve. It's your emotional state, your mental state. I find that when I have a really good workout, when I'm pushing myself and it's a work day, my mind is just firing off. I feel like I'm raring to go, right? Ready to take on any kind of challenge. So the positive outcomes. And then also the barriers that we talked about earlier start to decrease the more that we put a premium on exercise. And those barriers decrease, the advantages and the benefits start to increase, right? And then the older adults, their preferred method of exercise, these are the things that they aim for. So they a lot of times want moderate intensity. So that may be something like yoga, maybe walking, rollerblading, bike riding. You know, those are really good examples. They focus on exercises that are safe, right? The ones that have the least amount of risk for injury. And then something that can easily fit into their schedule. So like Pamela said, walking her dog. If you're aiming for 7,500 or more steps a day, that's easy to get in when you're walking your dog, I would imagine. And then another thing that they consider is that they want to go somewhere where the location is convenient. So whether or not it's working out in your home, or if you have a fitness facility that's nearby, a park that's nearby. And then also the social aspect. So some of them, you know, as we get older, especially if you're retired, getting out, going to a gym, you're around people, right? Or if you're out walking, I find that people and this is back in Alaska. I haven't been on any of the walking trails here in Oklahoma yet, but back in Alaska, when you would be walking on the trails, people are so friendly. Everybody speaks to everybody, right? So there's that social aspect of it. And then also, we want to make sure that the cost is reasonable. I'm not signing up for a membership that's like 200 something plus dollars. I remember Alaska Club, and I'm not a I don't okay, I don't want to say anything about Alaska Club, but I do think that they're way too expensive. I really do. Um, and then so you want to make sure there's a reasonable cost. I still feel like Planet Fitness is the best deal in town. $20 and you can work out at any facility in the country. That's just me. And then, yeah, walking is the most preferred form of exercise for older adults. And then also, they want it to be something that's enjoyable, right? Okay, so those are the preferred exercise criteria for people that are 50 plus and they are working out, they're getting after it. So I want to talk about how to get past those barriers that we talked about earlier. And, as I was sharing the barriers, I tried to include some things, some solutions to those barriers, but let's kind of go back to those. So fear of injuries, I would say discuss previous injuries and limitations with a professional. So again, if you're going somewhere like Planet Fitness, where they will have someone that will show you how to use the different types of machines, don't hold back sharing that you have some concerns and what those concerns are, because it will only benefit you. You're definitely going to put yourself at risk for injury if you're not letting folks know what's going on. Describe the benefits, and what they'll do is they'll describe the benefits of stretching and warming up and cooling down, right? And then I would say, if you're going to work out with a professional, get with someone who is used to working out with older adults, because if all of their clientele are the folks that are like in their 30s, their 20s, and all that stuff, it's a totally different demographic, and your needs are going to be different from their needs, right? And then they will further enforce how exercise can help you. I love exercise now, y'all. I mean, I'm really getting back into it. I don't know if I'll ever get back to where I'm working out 7 days a week, two a days. I don't even know. I don't know if that's me. Maybe every now and again, but I really do. I love being active. And then I would say, if you have low energy, start slowly, maybe walk 10 to 15 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week, or you can maybe even start to do that 2 days a week, depending on where you're at. Explore what is causing your low energy. Is it depression? Is it insecurity? Or is it really something that's physically challenging you that's causing you to be low energy? Work towards customizing an exercise program that fits with your lifestyle. I would definitely say, because I had made a video, I published it last Sunday. I was going to do that. I worked out like Lori Harvey. I ate and worked out like Lori Harvey. So that was consuming a 1,200 calorie diet, working out every day, doing 2 a days. I think it was a minimum of an hour and a half. Sure, I would have seen weight loss really quick, but the thing is that my body was suffering for it. Don't do that. Don't go for the quick fix. Find something that you can build into your lifestyle that you can carry forward. And then if you're self-conscious, I would say, oh gosh, and this could be hard, right? Because if you're self-conscious, it might be difficult for you to go to the gym. But I say, look for inspiration online. There's so many older adults that are out there working out. They're posting their fitness routines. They're talking about their fitness journeys. I love watching fitness journey videos. And just try to get some inspiration, right? And let's say after you've been inspired, you go to the gym. Look for people that are in your age group that are in there doing the thing, right? And draw from them. I think seeing an example in real life further enforces, if they can do it, you can do it too, right? I mean, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to touch on. But if you all want to add in some commentary, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at these comments. And we could talk about some other stuff too. Let's see. I think you're laughing at what Jay was saying. All right. Dooney, you said facts. Yeah, again, I hope what I'm sharing, is resonating with you all. Elle, good morning. Good to see you. Grand Rising all. I hope, wish, and pray all is doing well. Same. I hope you're doing well too, Elle. Let's see. Elle, you said you need to work out. So, Elle, what are some of the barriers to you getting out there and doing some form of physical activity, whether it's at home or something outside? What are some of the barriers? I will watch the replay because I know I have missed some good discussion. LOL. Oh yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. Let's see. Arctic Thunder Gamer. Hello, Big Daddy. Welcome back, Big Daddy. Yeah. So Arctic Thunder Gamer, I pretty much touched on all of my talking points. Let's see. To be honest, I hate working out, but I like being able to bend over and touch my toes. Absolutely. You know what? I feel like it's just a matter of getting started a lot of times, right? I think it's a matter of getting started and then staying motivated, finding those people that are doing the thing that you want to do. And even better, if you can find your tribe or community of people that are working out too, even better. Jay, you said, when I go to the gym, it's always older people in there. That is what gets me motivated. Really? So this is is this at Vasa, Jay? And I think they have those, I don't want to say countrywide because I don't know. I know they have a Vasa here. And that's the gym that I went to where it looked like there were professional athletes working out in there. I was just like, my God. They looked amazing. The men and women looked amazing in there. I like walking and yoga. Yes, I love yoga. Yoga is so good for me, like first thing in the morning to get centered. It's such a good stretch. And I really enjoy hot yoga. I haven't been in a while, but I'm definitely going to get back to it. Let's see, Jay, you said, yep, Vasa. So Jay, I'm curious, like what is your, I don't want to say workout routine, but I know you play basketball. And I'm just going to assume that you probably run on the treadmill too, because that helps with your stamina and everything when you're playing basketball. But I'm curious, what types of exercises do you do? Because I know you're at it in the gym. I've seen you on social media. And I'm curious too, Jay, did you play basketball in high school? Maybe you're one of those people that's always been athletic. Yeah, so I'll open the floor. If you all have any questions on the topic, or if you have any questions about I rebranded my channel. I got some things coming up and really wanting to focus on building a community. So if you all want to ask me anything about that, feel free. I probably have about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I do need to hit the gym. I'm going to film a video where I'm doing my exercise routine at the gym. So I want to make sure I do that. But yeah, I'll watch the chat to see if anybody has any questions or comments or anything like that. Let's see, Ravina, how is your back doing? I know you're still recovering from your back surgery. How are things going? Are you resting? Dooney said, great topic. Thank you. Thank you. Dooney, I'm curious, what form of exercise or activity, physical activity, do you get into? I know you said you don't like sweating and all that stuff, but I'm just curious. I think walking is therapeutic, to be honest with you. I love it. And there's actually a lady that heads up a 40+ double Dutch club. And y'all, I'm thinking about signing it up. I'm signing up for it. I don't know. I'm scared. But I think I'll do it just to try. Let's see. Elle, I look forward to seeing your routine. I need to get motivated. Yes, ma'am. I'm excited to film it too. I'm just hoping there's not too many people in there, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do what I need to do. Let's see. Jay said, I do treadmill first, then I hit the free weights. Then depending on how I'm feeling, I'll do leg exercises or stretching. Yes, I did play basketball in high school. Awesome. Yeah, so my favorite thing to do as far as cardio is concerned, and I'm curious, Jay, if you have certain days that you do certain things. So my workout regimen right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll do weight training and 30 minutes of cardio. So like a full body workout, 30 minutes of cardio, but I'm going to start splitting that up into upper body, lower body. But anyway, full body, half hour cardio, and then I'll dedicate 2 days to just cardio. So I'll do the elliptical for 30 minutes, and then I'll hop off and do the treadmill for 30 minutes. And so that's been working really well for me. So that's 4 days a week. I want to bump that up though. But I've heard that when you're over the age of 45, I think that too much cardio could be a bad thing. I don't know. I had never heard that before until recently. So I'll have to look into that a little bit more. But that's how I break up my workout routine. Elle, do you do double dutch? Elle, no. That's the thing. I do not do double dutch. And so, but it looks so fun. And I remember back in the day, remember when double dutch was really popular? And so I saw a video of the ladies out there doing double dutch. And I was just like, well, you know what? I might get hit all in the face with the rope, but I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. Let's see, Blake Donahoe, looks like you unpacked a lot. Can't wait for the apartment tour. Thank you, Blake, and good morning. Yeah, y'all, I had to get them boxes out of here. People were ragging on me about having the boxes all stacked up, and there's still a few here and there, but you just can't see them right now. But yeah, it's been slow going, but the thing is, I want to get my place the way that I want it, and I'm still sorting through things and decluttering, so I didn't want to rush it. But it's coming together, Blake. That video is coming very soon. Let's see. Arctic, you said, if you don't stay active, your body starts to lose the battle of attrition. My son and I do our morning and sundown exercises. So morning and sundown exercises, Arctic Gamer, are you saying that, because I know that, I think you and your son are both into martial arts, right? I think you're into martial arts. And there's a club here where they do, is it called Qigong or something like that, where they move really slow and they're like, doing the different movements. I'm probably looking really silly, but I can't think of what it's called. But I would love to try that too. It looks really cool. Let's see. Have you thought about doing a half marathon? I started training for my first one and I am having so much fun with it. Oh my gosh, Blake. I have a t-shirt that says running sucks. So let me clarify. When I get on the treadmill, I'm walking. I'm walking at an incline and I start on level 8 and then every 5 minutes I bump it up and then I leave it at 12, right? So I mean, I like the idea of doing a half marathon, but if I do it, it will probably be me walking the half marathon. And I don't know how long that would take. And that's something I would definitely look to have someone do that with me, right? So I'm not just out there by myself, but hats off to you. I think that's really cool. There's a young lady, I think Nicole, who is training for, I think she's training for a half marathon, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Arctic Thunder Gamer, please share your morning and sundown exercises. Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm curious. Jay, you said my plan is to work out before work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and some Fridays. If I don't go Friday, I'll go on Saturday. I went this morning. Awesome. I saw that. I saw your comment out on Instagram where you said you had just gotten back from the gym. That's awesome. Elle, you said, I noticed that the boxes were gone. Yes. Well, they're kind of gone. They're kind of gone. Yeah. But they're not as many as there were. It's just, y'all, I brought so much stuff with me. I thought I did a really good job with decluttering before I left Alaska. But that's stuff I had accumulated over the past, like 20 something years. And so it was kind of hard to get rid of some things. But I think when you downsize, that is a really great way to force yourself to have to get rid of some stuff. Arctic, oh, okay, so Arctic Thunder Gamer, you said, so I think when you said yes, you meant that the exercises you all do are some form of like martial arts. That's cool. Let's see, Blake, you can totally walk it. I wonder how long that would take, Blake. Or maybe I could rollerblade it. I'm going to buy some rollerblades, y'all. I'm going to buy some rollerblades because it's something that I've just been really wanting to do. Blake, how often do you work out? What is your workout routine? And I'm pretty sure that because you're training for the half marathon that I don't know if there's a strict program you have to follow to get conditioned for that. Art, you said, yes, I have been studying Jeet. Oh, I'm going to mess that up. Jeet Kune Do for 30 plus years and my son for 12 years. That's awesome. That's awesome. I worked with a guy who was an instructor at Champ Taekwondo. Is that right, Arctic Gamer? I know you know what I'm talking about. I remember I was going to put Kasha in Taekwondo, but she said she didn't want to get hit. So I was like, hey, that's as good a reason as any not to go and take that class. Brett, I prefer to just walk and do stuff outdoors along the way. I use tree limbs along my walking route to do pull-ups to exercise my arms. It's also free and I don't have time to go to the gym anyway. Yes. You know, I think that working out outside, just getting that fresh air, and especially if the weather is nice, it's a totally different experience than being inside of a building and working out. I like that. I would do that sometimes up in Anchorage. Yeah. Let's see. Jay, I watched your dancing video too afterwards. Inside joke. You know what, Jay? you better behave. You quit. All right. Arctic Gamer, yes, they have been up here for many years. Are they still there? I'm curious if they're still around. Champ Taekwondo, I think is what it's called. Yeah. Let's see, Blake, 2 interval runs in the week, short sprints, 1 long run during the weekend, and 2 days of strength training a week. That sounds like a really good workout regimen. Now, Blake, I'm curious, right? Because I've been doing more cardio than I normally would do. And I love the elliptical, but I've been seeing where folks are saying, if you do too much cardio, and I don't want to say too much cardio, they gave a certain amount of cardio you should not exceed, but that it could kind of sabotage your weight loss goals and that kind of thing. I had never heard anything like that. I remember cardio was being championed hard, big time, right? And the thing is, I love doing weight training. Cardio has been something that I've had to develop enjoying over time. And I'm getting to that point now. I don't think I'll ever be a runner though. But when I heard that cardio could kind of sabotage your efforts, I was just kind of like, I don't know. And let me clarify. So if you're 45 plus, I think is what they were saying. Let's see, Blake, can you talk about how your workout routine has changed from Alaska to Oklahoma? Does the weather impact what you can do? Okay, so I'll start with the last one. The weather does impact what I can do in the sense that when I was in Alaska, when it would get cold, I noticed that my body was aching. So I have arthritis in my lower back and it would flare up in the wintertime. And since I've come here, and of course, right, you know, if you're in pain, you're less inclined to want to do any type of workouts. And again, I love weight training. But since I've come here, I'm just like, I have more energy. And I don't know if it's because I'm seeing the sun a lot more and I don't hurt as much. So that has definitely changed my workout routine. And I would say too, because I live in an apartment that has a gym downstairs and it's pretty nice. They have they have bikes, they have elliptical machines, they have treadmills, they have free weights, benches, you know, and they're talking about getting a universal gym, which I think is going to be phenomenal. But having the gym located here has really helped a lot. And I do a lot more weight training because I have all the equipment at my disposal. So yeah, it's made a big difference. Blake, you said, depends on your workout goals. Always remember that moving your body is paramount to anything. Cardio does make you leaner and could break down muscle if you overdo it. Okay, so maybe that's what they're saying. Maybe that's what they're saying. And I would say right now, my workout goals are, okay, so at first I was like, I want to look like a fitness competitor. But then I've been looking at fitness competitors more and more and seeing what they go through to get to that look. I don't want to do that, but I do want to lean out more and just be really toned. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. And in my mind, when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, I want to burn as much fat as possible. And I know that weight training, you burn a lot of fat doing that. But then I was also like, but I can like enhance that by doing more cardio. So, okay. And I'm going to continue to look into that, but that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm doing both weight training and cardio. So, Jay, you said, got to run, enjoy the convo. Good materials always. Everyone have a great day. Talk to you later, Terry. All right, Jay, you take care. And to be honest with you, I got to get going too. I'm like 5 minutes late. Oh my gosh, but this conversation has been so good. Arctic, you said, yes, when we went to Yuma last month, my knees and joints felt better. See, I'm telling you. If you can snowbird in Alaska, I think that would be awesome. But yeah, leaving has definitely alleviated a lot of pain that I was suffering. Elle, thanks for the info at This J Every Day. Have a great weekend. And Arctic Gamer, you said Tai Chi is great for beginners and advanced depending on your skills and strength. All right. Awesome. Well, you know what, you all, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. I'm excited about we're not just going to talk about fitness, but that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. But if you enjoyed the video, if you could hit the thumbs up button on your way out, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you all again on Friday. All right, you all take care. Bye. All right. See y'all.